Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to address you today. My name is Matt Gabler. I represent the 75th District in Elk and Clearfield counties, and I'm here to lay out the problem, as this task force has recognized it, that relates to the diversion of our motor license funds to program outside of transportation. As I was discussing this problem with an interested constituent, I was trying to recall off the top of my head exactly how much money was being diverted. My constituent didn't reference his notes. Instead, he looked at me and he said, well, it's $737 million a year. And then he plainly said in a memorable way, and that 737 won't fly. There's a very important principle that we should live by. We should expect taxpayers to pay for the government that they use, and we should expect government agencies to use the taxpayer dollars for the intended purposes for which they were collected. We collect these monies from transportation users in the form of fuel taxes, registration fees, and other taxes and fees such as motor carrier taxes and IFTA. As outlined in our report, the age and condition of our transportation infrastructure dictates that every transportation dollar must be targeted at addressing these critical needs in our transportation system. Yet, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania continues to divert nearly $750 million a year out of our motor license fund to pay for our state police, who provide law enforcement and crime fighting that benefits all Pennsylvanians, not just our highway users. This is an expense that should be shouldered by the general fund, and we've got a plan to move that direction and free up these critical resources in our motor license fund. My colleague, Representative Lynda Schlegel Culver, will further discuss this initiative that we are recommending.
Thank you, Representative Gabler. As my colleague and co-sponsors of House Bill 2061 just identified and explained the problem, I will be addressing our proposed solution to accelerate and hopefully one day end the diversions from the motor licensing fund for the state police operating budget. I think we can all agree that the state police provide all Pennsylvanians with an extremely valuable service, and no one would dispute that they should be equitably funded. However, the trend developed many years ago to divert funding from the Motor License Fund to reimburse the state police for the work that they do on our highway system. But somewhere along the way, that trend continued to grow until the Motor License Fund monies became 65% of the state police budget, engulfing a third of the entire motor licensing fund. This diversion has caused many projects across the Commonwealth to become stalled, delaying maintenance and impeding our ability to plan and adequately prepare for growth and job creation in the future. In 2016, the legislature included in the fiscal code a measure that capped a portion of the funds going to the state police at $101 million, with a plan to decrease that amount by 4% per year until that amount reaches $500 million cap. Please bear in mind, any decrease in funding from the state police from the Motor License Fund will help transportation infrastructure. However, the legislation must also look at ways to replace the line item with alternative funding for the state police. Our legislation proposes to double the rate of the transfer from 4% to 8% per year, allowing the Motor License Fund to be restored faster and invest in more infrastructure projects that will allow us to continue to build a strong economy for all Pennsylvanians. Thank you.